Okay, there's a Greek phrase at the start here. It's expressed in Latin letters. And from the Loeb translation, it's oftentimes even the fool expresses himself to the purpose. Anyway, so we'll take up line 10. Enim means there's an explanation. Said, but, qui, he who, in all re, in all things, in all actions, and in all times, is vacat, he's free from or without all types of praise. He is in laudatus, that's the Latin word for it, and he is the pessimist, the worst of all, and he should be determinist, he should be despised or down upon. Sicutai, just as a privation or deprivation of all blame or guilt, so someone who's without it, is inculpatum. So he's comparing someone without praise to someone who was without blame. Vacant just means that this is it. The privation is someone who is not to be blamed. Inculpatus autem. However, inculpatus in star means is as. It's usually compared with something bigger, but it takes the genitive, whatever it does. Inculpatus is as if is the absolute of virtue, meaning unblameable. Whereas, therefore, in laudatus just means the end or the boundary of extreme maliciousness of something that's bad. And so, in 11 here, Homer, not with labelling the virtues, but in detracting someone who is without vices, he is accustomed amply to praise. So Homer doesn't praise people for having good virtues, but from having a lack of faults. 4 hoc est, for this is, what's this about? Not then would you divine Atticae, see, confused, inactive, nor yet loath to fight. This must be this whole section here. And not willingly they charged, and again, the bit that I just read out. Okay, it's actually gone down to there. So the first bit was not unwillingly they charged, and this bit here is not then would you divine Atticae, see, confused, inactive, nor yet loath to fight. Okay, a bit of Greek. 12. Epicurus, also in a similar way, he said the greatest pleasure, the maxim voluptum, is a privation and detraction of all pain or grief, he defined in these words. And more Greek, which is, what's he got here? The utmost height of pleasure is the removal of all that pains. Fair enough. 13. In the same rationale, the same way of thinking, the same Virgil, he said the Stygian marsh, or pool or waters or whatever it is, was inamiable, it was unlovable. For just as in laudatum, there's a bit of Greek there, expressed abhorrence, okay? Thus, in amiable, he detestus est. And we have this again. It's pretty annoying, really, unless you're doing a Greek lesson or something. So I'll just read from the Loeb. For just as he expressed abhorrence of the unpraised man by the denial of praise, so he abhorred the unlovable by the denial of love. Okay. So, in another way, 15, that in laudatus is thus defended, its significance to praise someone in the formal language, early Latin, is to nominare and appelle. So if you were to name and to call someone by name, you would laudare them in early, so maybe in Ennius and before his time even. Sic in actionibus civilibus. Thus in civil actions, the author is said to be laudared when he's being named. So if you were naming Cicero as the author of a work, you'd be saying you're laudaring him, praising him, using him. However, in laudatus is as if in laudable, which is, this one is a pure adjective, and this one here could be an adjective or a past participle or whatever. So if you're not laudable, you are he who is never in a mention or in any memory is worthy to be, nor ever should be nominanda, should be named or referred to. 18. Sicuti. Just as Condé once upon a time, or some time ago, by the Common Council of Asia, it was decreed that the name of him who had burnt the temple of Diana at Ephesus, no one should in any time use his name. Maybe it's like that Macbeth play, you shouldn't actually use the name of it or something like that. Superstition. 19. A tertium restat. A third thing remains out of these, which should be reprehended. So a third thing should be reprehended or complained about. Where he said the tunic, squalentum with gold, so the tunic that was scaly with gold, this moreover signifies a copia, some quantity and a density of gold in the appearance of woven in as like scales. So it's a density and thickness which appears to be a bit scaly because it's just gold woven in. Okay. For squalore, dictum is said or called by the thickness, the crebitate, and the roughness, the asperity of scales, which are in the chorus, so it's an ablative, which is on the skin of serpents or fish. VE is an enclitic that means or, piscum is of fish, so it's visunto, it's seen. So the roughness of these scars, which is seen on the hides or the skin of fish and serpents, and others, and this indeed same poet, quam rem, which this matter is demonstrated or pointed out in aliquot locus. Aliquot does not decline, so you can put it with nominatives or genitives or ablatives. So in some places he mentions quam pellis inquid, he says, and his in plumem squalus oro concerta tegabat, and in other place. So this quote with inquit, in his plumage he has anhis, which is copper or bronze scales he's covered with, sewn in with gold, which is the skin. So, I worked it out however you want to. Basically, there's all the words. 22. And now, Atticae, which means completely or something. Indutus means having put on his thorax, which is a breastplate, which is rutulum, which is red or glistening. It's horabating or bristling with, with these bronze scales. So here the lorica or the breastplate has like scaly bronze instead of gold, where this one here was woven with gold. Accius, I think he's a very old writer. In the Peloponnese, he thus writes, the scales of him, the serpent, of this serpent, were squalid with gold and purple pertextate woven into it. And for the Daily Dictionary is rutulus, red, golden, reddish yellow. Rutillo means to have a reddish glow, so it's where the glowing bit seems to have been in the lorica. It was sort of glowing a bit red or yellow. Anyway, therefore, 24, quid, whatever, is too much inculcatus. Inculcatum means struck into, and obsidum means overgrown or something. And aliqua re, whatever this matter is, so therefore whatever has too much been forced into it and overgrown, so incuterate, that means to strike in. A horror to the visentibusing, the people looking at it, so whatever strikes a horror with this new face, this was said to squalere, to be scalish or whatever. Okay, yeah, we're nearly done. Thus in bodies, in cultus, hasn't been taken care of, so, and in scaly, these deep congeries or masses of dirt are called squalor. So I think we have everything like that in English. Squalor's filth and dirt. So if you have a body that hasn't been taken care of and it seems a bit scaly, this mass of dirt is called squalor. Cuius significato, of which signification, as much and continually is used, so its meaning, it's much and continually used. This whole word, totum id verbum, has thus been contaminated or corrupted, so that now squalor is a matter of no other matter than it's began to be called of inquinamenta, something that's been stained, you might want to say, only. So squalor's been used so much now that it just means it's been stained. What's the lobe say? Filth is the word the lobe uses.